So, David, I hear this new show coming out, the Fortean Slip.
You know, I don't know where these douchebags are coming from.
Steve Alcorn's a fine investigator. What he's doing with this Chris dude, I have no idea.
Christopher York is fucked up. The dude is seriously fucked up.
Put that on the show.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
You harassed me to watch this piece of shit.
And ultimately a piece of shit it is.
And fucking listen!
I was going to make a lemming noise.
I was a fucking lemming.
I don't know. How do you explain those kind of things?
Aliens are actually time travelers from the future.
So don't worry, in the future, we're still ignorant bastards.
This show is going to be fucked up.
I'd like to tell you all this show is going to be good. But let's face facts. And welcome to the Fortean Slip. I am your jackass, unprofessional, amateur, petty bitch host. With me, a man who wears a cowboy hat, and I protest that, Steve Alcorn.
Thou doth protest too much.
And joining us, as usual, a man who can't wake up on time, Matt Knapp.
I have more than enough to eat at home.
Damn it, I was going to do the Rob Ford joke tonight.
What do you mean?
Rob Ford is the best thing to happen to Canada since Gordon Lightfoot. He is the fucking greatest thing I have seen in ages.
I'm going to move to Canada just so I can vote for him for Prime Minister.
Jesus Christ.
I'm telling you what.
Rob Ford. What is
Yeah,
this?
if they kick him out, he's more than welcome in the United States.
Yeah, no shit, right? He'd fit right in. What is this, episode 11 for us?
Oh, something like that.
We don't fucking know. This is episode 11. Mother Leeds had so many children, her uterus fell out.
Oh my.
Where we talk about the Jersey Devil.
Great hockey team.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm not, I'm more of a Penguins fan, but we'll go there.
Yeah. But, last night I sat down with my boy and watched Pacific Rim, which I thought was going to be a tremendous piece of shit. Like, I had no good expectations for this movie whatsoever. And I'm a Guillermo del Toro fan. Like, I thought Pan's Labyrinth was one of the greatest movies to come out in ages. And it had subtitles. So I went into the movie with like no expectations of anything being good at all. And what a great fucking monster movie. Just cool action. Not the greatest fucking story in the world, but what a cool little action movie.
Filled with eye candy.
Yeah, I mean, like...
The design was exceptional on that movie.
Yeah, and I thought at first when I saw some of the trailers and stuff, because the robots that they had shown in the trailer, and they didn't show a lot of it, which was, really good, because it left it for the movie. And I was like, oh, this is just going to be so bad. But I had a really good time watching it. And I can't wait to see what they've done with Godzilla.
Yeah.
Because I'm a huge Godzilla fan, and that fucking Matthew Broderick, Ferris Bueller's Day Off with Godzilla movie that they made really fucking pissed me off.
That was a huge publicity-driven event of a film that accumulated in nothing more than a heaping pile of crap.
Right. I think
Remember,
so.
like, Taco Bell licensed it, and it was all over the place, and had music videos, and...
Yeah, and I think, like, somebody said it best, like, that movie was good up until it hits New York. Like, if you take that movie up to that point, it's a good movie. And isn't that one of those, like, Roland Emmerich films?
I believe so.
Yeah, okay. So he did, like, Independence Day, too, right?
Yeah.
Which is another film that's, like, good until the fucking White House gets blown up.
Right.
But, yeah, I saw that movie last night, and I thought it was kind of cool. I fucking love monster movies. I can't wait for it.
I really liked the creature designs.
Oh, yeah, and how they changed them all up, and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was really original. I mean, because whenever you're doing giant monsters, you know, and first off, you have to avoid that whole Power Ranger look, you know, of guy in a giant costume.
Right.
Made out of foam rubber, which they did with, you know, computers. But, no, they did a really good job. I liked the bioluminescence and all that they used. It was awesome.
Yeah, and Idris Elba, that guy is a fucking god among men as an actor.
Well, he's no Will Patton.
No, you are right. He is no Will Patton. I mean, Will Patton would give him a run for his fucking money. But Idris Elba, that guy has such stage presence. I think I was telling you, like, this morning, Matt, that the line in the movie there where he's like, 2 things. 1, don't touch me again. And 2, don't touch me again. I thought that was fucking great. You know, I can't pull it off the way that motherfucker can. I don't have the English accent, but what just a good movie. I definitely recommend it for anybody. Just if you like monster movies, if you like action, and like I said, the story, well, it's not the best fucking story in the world. It definitely holds you. And
it is a movie that you can sit there and watch with your kid.
Yeah. It's not like, you know, it's not over the top. There isn't a lot of horrible language like our show.
Except coming from your own mouth, possibly. But
if you're me and you swear in front of your children. But that's all right, because my ex-wife does too, so I'm in good company. So, yeah, we thought we'd talk about the Jersey Devil, the Pine Barrens monster, Mother Leeds' 13th child, the one she called, or said, what was it? She said that this one's going to be the devil.
She gave her child over to the devil. What a great mom.
Like, yeah.
Wasn't the father supposed to be the devil?
According to some stories, yeah.
Yeah. And I guess there's actual documentation that the Leeds existed too, and they had 12 children.
Well, they had 13.
Well,
the one became the Jersey Devil.
Well, that's and that is the legend. But documented, there are 12 children, which does lend, you know, credence to the whole idea of the story. But I mean, I've always thought the story's kind of funny, like the way that the Jersey Devil's set up. Like, it looks like a horse or a goat and a lizard and a bat and like, let's just take...
An amalgamation.
Yeah, let's just take everything and shove it together. It reminds me of, like, those fantasy creatures you'd see in Dungeons & Dragons, like, has a lion's head and a fucking, you know, eagle wings and, like, the really fucked up ones that they'd, like, just shove together. That's what it reminded me of. Just this fucking thing that people threw together. And I mean, you know, I guess some people are really into it. I think it's an interesting story, but I'm not like a huge Jersey Devil fan. But
it's a really old story, which I think has caused it to become just a melting pot of different stories that ended up with this.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, if you look back at, like, you know, with the early legends or whatever, it was a Native American story. And they called it something which meant, like,
Place
of the
of the
dragon.
dragon.
Yeah, place of the dragon. So right there, you have to ask yourself, okay, well, why did the Native Americans have a word for dragon?
Yeah, right.
So,
Yeah, no.
are they telling the truth or not?
And
then, you go on and there's like another Dutch thing that involves the word dragon. But then the Mother Leeds story is the most accepted. So,
Yeah, and the Mother Leeds story was after the Native American legends, anyhow.
yeah.
So, fucking.
who has who has fucking 13 children? Who? God.
My great-great-grand... No, I don't know.
13
Mother Leeds.
fucking kids. Holy shit. I couldn't imagine.
And even back in those days, having 13 children. Holy fuck.
Mr. Leeds also had more than enough to eat at home, apparently.
Apparently.
Was he also in a drunken stupor?
He must have
I
been.
knocked her up with Satan, but I was in a drunken stupor.
How could you cheat on me with the Prince of Darkness? I saw you guys together. I saw how he looked at you.
You never look at me that way.
Which, of course, if this entire story is all true, this is a horrible way to portray it.
Yeah, exactly.
So the devil's a deadbeat dad, basically.
The devil's a deadbeat dad, knocks up mom. The Satan child runs away with its forked tail, goat's head, bat wings.
Wait a second.
I like how like the story like resurged in 1909, and then like people tried to hoax it, so they shoved like wings on a fucking kangaroo.
That was funny. That was the funniest story I read.
Yeah, let's
Wings
just
on a
throw some fucking wings on a kangaroo. But what was it? The Pennsylvania zoo or something like that.
Offered the money?
No, the Philadelphia Zoo. It was rumored that they posted a $10,000 reward for the creature's shit.
It says actually it was merchants around Camden, New Jersey, offered a $10,000 reward. So Camden, New Jersey. Wow, that's a great place. I've been to Camden. Holy hell.
Yeah, I'm surprised you made it out.
I stayed
in the best
newspaper
place there,
drawing
too.
of the creature.
What's that, Matt?
I like that really early drawing of the creature from like the Philadelphia Bulletin.
Oh yeah, like
Or it has like the giraffe neck and like the really skinny horse legs. Like that thing couldn't stand up.
Well,
It just, like,
the
constantly
wings probably
above-
balance it.
Matt, it's magical.
Oh,
It's
not
a
magic.
devil, Matt. It's not a it's a paranormal creature. It's not a real life.
It's just a misunderstood cryptid. That's all it is.
Just something we haven't categorized, maybe.
That's right, and there's only one of them.
And
They say it looks a lot
forever.
like it looks like the hammerhead bat from Africa, but the problem with that is that bat eats fruit and has to have a warm climate, so I don't think that's happening. But.
Yeah, well, here, allow me to throw a little spin into the story. I have here
Oh boy.
a report from January 31st, 2005 in Oklahoma.
Oh.
Where the wind's on their mind.
Yes. The sighting originally happened in 1997. A large creature was seen jumping down the road very fast. The creature took 2 or 3 jumps before it was at the end of the road. The creature stopped and stared at the 2 kids, I assume, and then began to continue on its way. The creature was described as large grayish creature about 6 to 7 foot tall and walked upright. The creature's head resembled that of a horse. The creature also had very large yellow eyes. Now, this sighting report is labeled as a Jersey Devil type creature. I assume because of the horse head.
Why not?
Did it have wings?
There was no reports of wings.
They were folded against the body, Matt.
Yeah, they were folded against the body.
That
so.
could be it.
That's what it was. That's what I'm going with. It's the Jersey
But
Devil.
the Jersey Devil's generally described shorter, isn't it? Like 4 feet, 5 feet tall, something like that.
I don't know.
I think so.
Wow.
Anyway, and so he's a long way from home if he's in.
Yeah, he's down in Oklahoma. So, is there more than one?
Maybe it was the other one, the Mothman. Maybe it was the Mothman. Wait, no, the Mothman didn't have a fucking horse head though.
Now, I think it is funny that they assume that the Jersey Devil and the Mothman are both the sandhill crane.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that interesting? They're both that's like one of the explanations for both of them.
That's their go-to thing, the sandhill crane.
Yeah, it's a sandhill
or an owl.
or an owl.
Yeah.
Well, did you guys see recently that a group of cryptid or paranormal people, and they went to look for the Jersey Devil, and they got like video of what they believe to be the Jersey Devil on like FLIR or Night Vision or something?
No,
I haven't seen that.
And it looks like a deer standing at the side of the road.
It probably is.
Is his name Bart Catino?
No.
Oh, okay.
Is he in New Jersey?
No.
Not last I checked.
Bart's in California.
Is Bart Catino the only person you know with a fucking FLIR?
Actually, no. Dax Rushlow.
Okay.
As a matter.
Dax
Although-
has a FLIR?
Well, he has access to one.
Oh, access to one. That's different.
Yeah, because I have been out in the woods with Dax. Which
I don't want to know the stories.
Which, by the way, not to like go way off topic, is fucking a hoot. Like
I'm
like
betting.
Matt's depiction of Dax as Gary Busey is spot fucking on. Like I could see Dax like going off on a tangent about just anything. Swinging his fucking lightsaber around, whooping into the fucking woods.
We need to send him after the Jersey Devil.
Yeah, let's...
So when you went out with Dax, did he bring the lightsaber with him?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Of course he
He
did.
fucking swung that thing around like nobody's business. Yeah. Yeah, he takes that thing with him everywhere. You kidding me?
Shit.
I don't know how many times I heard a fucking all fucking night. But yeah, those FLIR cameras though are pretty fucking impressive. I was really impressed with the, and I mean I don't know what version of that camera that it is that he uses.
3.
I don't fucking know, but
I think it was 7.
but I looked through that thing and it's just crystal clear. It's absolutely crystal clear. I mean, you go across, you can see the trees, you can see the rocks, and I mean, it's, you know...
The Jersey Devil.
Yeah, I see the Jersey Devil, Bigfoot, Mothman, all at the edge of the woods.
You fire up your FLIR camera and all of a sudden all the fucking cryptids come
They
out.
just fucking pour out of the trees.
Did you get this FLIR camera from the storage closet at Hogwarts or something?
That's right. along with my fucking cloak of invisibility.
Right after I signed my contract with MK Ultra.
Yeah.
I was thinking, how many UFO sightings are actually the result of bad LSD trips?
A lot.
Just
Or cheap
saying.
booze.
Are you kidding me? A lot.
We'd have to correlate the timeline of MK Ultra with the rise in UFO reports. see if there's a correlation there.
There might be.
I don't want to do it. I don't want to get my hopes down. I don't want to.
You don't want the Men in Black to
Get
show
killed.
up at your house.
Right.
Hey,
You
Steve.
found us out.
Steve, what are you looking into here?
Yeah. Well, we'll know if I'm close because the podcast will end.
Yeah. Everything just cuts out.
Because the what is it, the NSA or whatever, they're already listening anyhow.
Yeah, sure, why not?
We're not even live and they fucking know what's going on.
They're tapped in.
How the fuck do we go from some movie that you watched to Bart Catino, then to Dax Rushlow, and then to the fucking LSD? How do we do that, man?
You go down.
That's what we do here.
Go down the rabbit hole, Steve. You go down the rabbit hole.
Rabbit hole.
Down the rabbit hole.
I think we did.
I think we seriously need to dose Steve, Matt. I don't think we need to go with LSD. I think we need to do mushrooms. And I think it's Jefferson Airplane goes into Tangerine Dream, and we end with the Moody Blues. That's the soundtrack for our trip with Steve Alcorn. I think that's what we need to do.
I think that you probably ought to do it without my knowledge.
I don't know. I'm kind of thinking 9 Inch Nails Downward Spiral, actually.
Oh, you want him to fucking have him hate himself at the end of it? He'll fucking be staring at himself in the mirror with a knife going, I don't know,
Don't
man.
follow the clown.
I was thinking Achy Breaky Heart with Billy Ray Cyrus.
No, I am not tripping out to fucking country music. It's not happening. I've been depressed enough.
This show feels like an acid trip.
It is an acid trip, ladies and gentlemen.
So the Jersey Devil.
Yeah, the Jersey Devil, which
back on topic.
Which we don't really give a fuck about.
No, because I think the three of us are all pretty much in agreement that it's total bullshit, right?
Well,
well, there's something to it.
You guys
sure.
are going to shoot me down on this.
It's not that I'm going to shoot you down. This is what I'll say. I like stories. I like legends. This one doesn't grab me as much as other ones. I mean, if there's something about it on TV, will I watch? Yeah. If I come across something on the internet about it, will I read it or watch the video? Sure. But is this something that I would, spend hours poring over and researching? No. My research for the show consisted of me reading the wiki.
That's about it.
And normally I do way more than that.
Well, I watched the Monster Quest episode too.
Right, which is just a fine piece of documentarian work. Yeah,
probably the best they did, best work they did. That's my opinion, though.
Yeah.
Although the thing that jumped down the roof or whatever, on that show, it's kind of interesting. But it was just a fucking owl, apparently.
Just an owl.
I do like the story of the Commodore that shot the cannonball at one.
Yes, I do like that story too. I was listening to a podcast the other day. I don't know if they still do the podcast, but they only had like 45 views on it on YouTube, so I don't think it was very popular. But the name of the podcast was Blurry Pictures, and they were talking about that and how the guy allegedly shot the Jersey Devil with a cannonball, and it bounced right off. And yeah, it was pretty cool. So if you want to check it out, Blurry Pictures podcast on YouTube. I doubt they still do it.
But could you imagine trying to shoot an animal with a cannon?
Yeah.
Other than a cow standing there grazing.
Standing still.
Yeah. Well, the Jersey Devil's supposed to be, I'm assuming, quite fast when it's flying or running or whatever, That's how it's described. So if you're shooting at it with a cannonball, I just don't
a cannon
think you have
isn't
much
exactly
luck.
a sniper rifle.
No.
It takes a minute or two to fire, and you have to get it aligned and everything just right. And then, I don't know, I just think it would be easy to dodge in most situations.
Well, my guess, and I still like the idea that the Jersey Devil is a kangaroo with wings. That's what I think it is.
I think it was a leftover pterosaur that spawned stories over time.
Well, do you think it could be related to like the Thunderbird stories and shit like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be the same thing.
I think pterodactyls lived longer than most other things because of their ability to fly. And if I've misused the term pterodactyl, I'm sorry. Flying dinosaur.
You really don't give a fuck.
No, I don't.
Yeah. Whatever the
But the
fuck
flying
it is.
dinosaur with the crazy head, I think that might have something to do with dragons and all that stuff. So
I'm sure you'll get a message from Jay Cooney describing to you the difference between a pterodactyl and a pterosaur and all that stuff.
Right. But now, don't get me wrong. I don't think they just like lived for a really long time, but I think they lived long enough to actual overlap intelligent human thought. Like there was a few eyewitnesses that were like, "Holy cow!" and enough to like create all these, dragon myths and everything. And perhaps there was a nesting pair in the Pine Barrens at one time, and Native Americans saw them. And
Yeah, that is
That could be.
complete possibility.
So you just went from the Jersey Devil is complete bullshit to it's a pterodactyl.
yeah.
Okay. All right, I got it.
Well, I thought you guys were with me, and then you were
Listen,
like,
Steve,
I don't know.
Steve, you follow a thought around to a rational conclusion. Don't beat the man up.
All right.
Don't beat the man up.
I'm not trying to.
He just woke up, Steve.
I just woke up. It's like, 6 o'clock in the evening.
His last name is Nap. So
It is.
Not Van Winkle over here. But no, I still think it's bullshit. I'm just saying if I had to explain
Right.
it, that's...
The legend, the idea of it, is the thing still running around? Probably not.
No, and I don't think it had
Especially
like
if
a
there's
horse
only one.
head and a goat-like body and bat wings.
Right.
And
Well, you could be onto something, Matt, because the pterodactyl's head could be described that way, I suppose, if you really
an
look at it.
elongated head,
Yeah.
if they had to
Right.
compare it to something, I mean, who knows?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Case solved.
Case.
But did you notice that the description of the Jersey Devil is also part of the testicle game in the movie Waiting?
There's a testicle game?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I did not know that.
I haven't seen the movie.
And
Yeah, well, we won't get into detail, but some of the names are like the goat, the bat wing. It's like they're describing a Jersey Devil.
gotcha. I'm with you now.
Yeah.
It took me a second to come around to that one. I want to let you know I want to let you
Well,
know that
apparently
I was,
the Jersey Devil has a cat brain.
Yeah.
You had me at testicle game.
Yeah.
All right. Before this show
I'm
goes
intrigued
any
now.
more off the rails, Steve, don't you have some news?
I probably do.
How does the music always know when to play?
Isn't that amazing?
Magical. It's magical news music. The news music is always correct and on
That's
time.
professional production right there, fellas.
Right. Well, in our first story, this is from the plymouthherald.co.uk, and this is my favorite story of the night. A UFO expert writes the latest Haynes manual. If you're familiar with the Haynes manuals, they're the auto repair books. Author Nigel Watson has written a manual with a difference, allowing readers to take apart and piece together the evidence for and against UFOs, as Martin Friedman discovered. Get ready for a close encounter of the publishing kind. Catchy. The latest, the latest Haynes manual is
Watch
about
this
UFOs.
book fly through the air.
The truth is out there, and thanks to Plimpton author Nigel Watson, the series, better known for exploded diagrams of 1970s Alfa Romeos, examines what might be the preferred transport of visitors from Alpha Centauri.
And,
Boy, this
and
is a
phones.
clever author.
Yeah, what a clever up. Nigel examines 121 years of evidence in his UFO investigations manual, a comprehensive examination of UFO research and investigations, including government reports that have attempted to solve this enduring mystery. I was hoping they'd have a cutaway of a UFO on the front cover, says Nigel, mixing humor and regret. Nigel, 59, is an expert in the history of UFOs. His previous book includes portraits Accounts of Aliens Encounters, 1990 was the publishing date on that one. He has been commissioned by the History Press to write a book on UFOs of World War I, due out next year to coincide with the 100th anniversary of the start of the conflict. Nigel has for many years been a regular contributor to magazines such as The Paranormal Bible or Strange Phenomena and Fortean Times. Despite those interests, he is refreshingly down to earth. When darkness falls...
Sounds like it.
His head's in the clouds, but he's on the planet.
When darkness falls, he doesn't heed to the nearest hilltop to watch the skies. He goes to Tesco, Lee Mill, where he works nights part-time. He describes himself as an optimistic skeptic. And the rest of the story, I don't care about.
You said this was your favorite story.
Yeah, but I like the parts, you know, with the UFO and
the Haynes catalog
diagram and the Haynes manual.
Who describes themselves as a fucking asshole? Like I describe myself as a fucking asshole. I'm really a prick.
And our second story is from discovermagazine.com, and it says, tests could reveal whether we are part of a giant computer simulation.
Or possibly not.
But the real question is...
Don't ruin this for me, Matt.
We're all in the Matrix.
In the 1999 sci-fi film classic, The Matrix, the protagonist, Neo, is stunned to see people defying the laws of physics, running up walls, and vanishing suddenly. These superhuman violations of the rules of the universe are possible because, unbeknownst to him, Neo's... Oh, jeez.
Part of a phone. Neo.
We are in the Matrix.
That
was a glitch.
For some reason, every time I'm reading the news, my alarm goes off telling me I need to take my medicine. My psychiatric medicine.
It's medication time. Come see Dr. McMurphy.
The blue pill or the red pill, Steve?
Yes.
Well, that's what I'm getting to. The action really begins when Neo is giving a fateful choice. Take the blue pill and return to his oblivious virtual existence, or take the red pill to learn about the truth of the Matrix and find out how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Daytime or nighttime relief?
Physicists can now offer us the same choice, the ability to test whether we live in our own virtual matrix by studying radiation from space. As fanciful as it sounds, some philosophers have long argued that we're actually more likely to be artificial intelligence trapped in a fake universe than we are organic minds in the real one. But if that were true, the very laws of physics that allow us to devise such reality-checking technology may have little to do with their fundamental rules that govern the meta-universe inhabited by our simulators. To us, these programmers would be gods, able to twist reality on a whim.
Oh, that's so brilliant.
So should we say yes? It is.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Should we say yes to offer to take the red pill and learn the truth? Or are the implications too disturbing?
Yeah, point us towards the Kickstarter page for that one.
Yeah, there probably is one too. And in our final story, we are going to talk about Willow Creek, and that's Bobcat Goldthwait's new movie. And this is from StarNewsOnline.com. Comedic actor and director Bobcat Goldthwait showed off his latest directorial effort, Willow Creek.
And then he burned the chair he was in.
To an eager audience of horror fans.
So I saw this hairy thing out in the woods, and I ran.
In Thalian Hall Thursday night at the some sort of film festival that I can't pronounce. Part of the festival's Midnight Madness program, they found film footage, a young couple, Bryce Johnson and Alexi Gilmore, who tried to track down Bigfoot in the Willow Creek wilderness. Anchored by an incredible sense of humor, the film slowly brings out its suspended side as a couple descends deeper into the woods, and my computer just screwed up. So Bobcat is
lost.
Let me die. That's another found footage film.
Another found.
Goldthwait's brand of comedy.
I'm not gonna beat this up too much. interested to see this. I've seen a few of his films, and I really enjoy how he puts together his films. Like, have you seen God Bless America, Matt?
No.
All right, watch that film.
No.
Yes. Trust me.
You can't make me.
Watch the fucking movie. It's a good
No,
movie.
I watched the trailer for this film, and for a Bigfoot movie, it looks kind of decent.
Yeah, it looks decent.
I wish they had a little bit more money for the computer-generated graphics.
Right, well, don't we always?
But, he's not James Cameron, you can't just go get a check.
Right. So, and then be told...
Moviegoers who miss the
and then be told to
screening.
make 2 more movies, by the way.
Right.
Yeah.
Is he still married to Nikki Cox?
I don't fucking...
You said Cox.
Bobcat?
Yeah.
No, Jay Moore is. Okay, continue.
I guess, yeah, well, I'll just skip to the end here. Moviegoers who miss the screening won't be able to catch the film again at the festival, but it won't be too long before Willow Creek pops up again. Just days before the festival, Goldthwait was notified that the film has been picked up for distribution, and it would hit limited theaters and possibly video on demand in March.
And shoot straight to Netflix.
Right.
Yeah. Which
And
is great.
I butchered the news again, and that is the end of my news career for the evening.
Is this the end of your news career? Seriously?
For the evening. Just for the evening.
Did it ever get off the ground?
I tried.
If we had had that Haynes manual, we might have gotten this show off.
I wonder if Bob Lazar's sport model was in there. Because I think that's the coolest looking yacht.
I didn't look up and I changed the radiator hose on the 1972 Alpha 6.
Yes, sir.
I like the segue, from Alfa Romeo to Alpha Centauri in that story.
Well,
That was pretty
nice.
good. Yeah. That was a crafty bit of rating.
Was it?
Yes.
Thank you for joining us for this piece of shit. As always, it's me, Steve, and Matt.
I get a new computer and the fucker
The
still
gentleman
shuts.
from the state of Oklahoma.